It's all or nothing. We are back for season 5, Married at First Sight. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
That was a good one.
Did you miss that? Did you miss it?
I don't know how much I missed it, but I'm definitely happy to be back.
Welcome back, guys. We're so excited to be here. It is the Married at First Sight season 5 premiere. We got some fresh faces. We can't wait to get started. We need to get started because we're cutting it short tonight. 30 minutes for the 3.5-hour long premiere. Hi, how are you? Great to see you, Heather Yerrid. You can find me, as always, Instagram and Twitter at Heather Yerrid. And to my left...
What's up, you guys? I'm like, who is that, me? I'm Desola Balogun. You can find me everywhere at Desola_B, DAYSHOLA_B.
And hey guys, it's Ally Nasta here. You can find me on Twitter at Ally Nasta and on Instagram at AllyGirl.
And I'm Tessa Cevaal. You guys can find me on all social at Tessa_Cevaal.
All right, so let's just kick it off.
So much
Yes,
to talk
always
about.
so much to talk about. So first and foremost, just initial thoughts on couples that were selected and how they were paired.
So I will say I love, oh my gosh, Danielle and Cody and Anthony and Ashley, like right off the bat, I thought they had immediate chemistry just from seeing them separately, like not even in together. I feel like with Nate and Sheila, it wasn't until they were together is when I felt they had that immediate connection.
Gotcha. I loved Anthony and Ashley. The fact that, Anthony, you had a dream and saw the A right here, brother, with that intuitive stuff. So A squared, team A squared right here. So I loved them. And then I also, Nate and Sheila, to me, were right next to them. Daniel and Cody, I'm a little still skeptical on, but I was feeling both of those for sure.
I really like Ashley and Anthony. In the beginning, I didn't think anything about them, but then at the end, when I saw them meet each other, I was like, this is the one.
Yeah.
Like, they're meant to be. And it was something about it, you know, so I like them a lot.
Yes, very good, very good.
Nate and Sheila, it took me a while to the end, like
Yeah.
you were saying. And Danielle and Cody, I'm kind of still with you there, too. Like,
Yes.
I don't see it, but I'm sold on Anthony and Ashley. I love them together. I want to be there.
Yeah.
They're, like, having so much fun.
Absolutely. And it seems that this year they took a different approach, or at least they were more vocal about the approach of how they paired. Yes.
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up because I wrote down, like, I feel like they're talking more about how they connect people rather than they have in the previous seasons.
Agreed. 2 people paired for spirituality, 2 people paired for what I would say career, and then the other for family. So we got A squared, Anthony and Ashley, because family oriented, all that stuff. I feel that, I feel like the Nate and Sheila was because of the spiritual, that they both are very heavily religious. And I think the Danielle and Cody were completely that career. We have the dietitian and we have the fitness world.
Yeah.
So far, so good. The only dynamic that, to be honest, that I'm seeing was Sheila, just dive right into what we love to do. With Sheila and Nate, I think that I'm already foreshadowing, I should wait for premonitions, but I'm already foreshadowing the 2 energies that are actually more strong, and Nate really wanting to hone that gender role, having that old school male role.
Yes.
Does anyone else see that?
Something's not right there. The entire time I was watching this, I was saying, something's not right about Nate to me. I don't trust him.
Ooh,
I know
tell
it
me
sounds
more.
crazy, but
No.
everything he was saying sounded so fake to me. Like he said everything that a guy says to a lady to make them feel good. That's what he was saying. And I was thinking, like, this is not real. Like, this guy, like, when the whole vow thing, I wrote vows, but I'm just gonna throw them out because you're the most I said, shut up. Like, no, honestly, like, it's not real. It's not. I don't trust it.
Well, what solidified it for me was when he called himself Daddy-O.
Daddy
Really,
do.
like, solidified the, like, very, like, womanizer vibe he has going on, in my opinion.
Daddy
Thank
do.
you. I felt the same. I was thinking he says this to every girl he meets. That's what I kept thinking when I was watching it. I just don't trust it. I don't know.
See, the reason I trust it, and it took me until seeing them together to see their connection that they had. I really think that he actually has been waiting to find this woman, and maybe like whatever he did before he was in this process, I think he did it because he actually wants that. Like, I think he's dreamt of having this image of this amazing woman he's gonna marry one day, and I think he's had this, like, you know, kind of like I don't know, dialogue in his head of how he would approach that situation and approach that woman. So I think that's kind of what I saw when he was talking to Sheila.
Let me say,
go ahead.
these women on this panel would have fallen for it, because if you would have seen their faces when they were watching him say it, they were all like, oh my God.
Well, I definitely cried.
Like getting
everything.
And I was thinking, like, man, he would play you guys so bad.
No, see, okay.
I mean,
so,
honestly.
Maybe that's why I'm single, because I'm like,
No.
oh, so
I mean,
sweet.
seriously. 'Cause
No. No. So what I see it as, I agree with Ally 110%. I believe that Nate, it literally took me back to The Best Man. I don't know if anyone out there's ever watched The Best Man, but I forget their names of the show. But it was, yes. And whoever the football player was, I can't remember what his name was, but he was a player, but he believed in God and he knew what commitment was. And when he committed, that was game over. So Nate, I thought it was amazing. But I'm a now watch because I trust my man right here.
Thank you.
Speaking to that, gender roles. I feel like this was another topic that came up. Me personally, I love, or at least I say I do right now, I love gender roles. I believe that there has to be a masculine energy, a feminine energy, and it really isn't 50-50. It's going to be 49-51 or a different type of thing. We have two men. We have Anthony and Nate. We have Anthony and Nate who want to fulfill that husband, I'm the provider, I'm the man role. Do you guys think that's important? Do you think this is going to impact it at all? Do you think that's insane?
Like what exactly?
Gender roles. Do you think they still exist? Do you think they're going to make a difference? Because I feel like the experts absolutely took that into consideration this time more so.
See, for me, I feel like it's personality. It's like whether your personalities are going to clash or not. Like whether you're like, oh, I'm going to do the dishes tonight, or I don't like doing the dishes. Like I feel like it's just for me, it's more so of like not specifically, I think the gender roles, but more like if your personalities are going to like choose the pick and choose of what's going to collide. I don't know if that even.
Well, I think what she's saying and what they were really, what a lot of these couples were focused on was like the man's going to do the man's work and then the lady's going to do the lady's work, which is like cook, clean, take care of the kids and all that. That's what a lot of these people were saying. They all were saying that like, oh, I want to be like some of the people that didn't get chosen, but they were very serious about the guy was, I want to work. That's what Nate said. I want to be the man who
Nate wants to be
money,
the provider.
Blah, 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 da, da, da. But he did mention that he wants his wife to work and come home and be. I don't know. What do you think? Because you made a lot of faces about it.
It's a huge issue, and I see it with all 6 of them.
Ooh, tell me more,
I really
girl.
do. I think Anthony and Nate, like, I think they really want to be those guys, and I think Ashley wants to be that girl for Anthony, so I really like that. But I think that Sheila is a lot stronger than the type of woman Nate was kind of thinking he would be with.
Absolutely.
Because she is like a strong woman, and they both come from very strong families.
We saw that with the dads. We live chat.
Hi, you guys at the live chat. We always say hi. I apologize for that. Make sure to get in those live chats. We will respond, talk to you, answer any questions. Sorry that we started late. You guys were saying, where are you guys at? We're here now. We apologize.
Yes.
You gotta acknowledge that.
Big apologies.
I agree. I think that with the 2 strong personalities, we're going to see something. And there was an automatic judgment with age. The 25 and 30, she shifted. Sheila shifted as soon as she heard 25.
2 couples, by the way.
Very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Cody is 26, Danielle's 30, and same with Sheila and Nate.
Do you guys think that has something to do with anything with the fact that there was more maybe men or women that were like women that were older and men that were younger? I thought that was unique.
I thought that was really interesting because, I mean, typically, in my opinion, guys tend to mature later, so they would want to get married later in their life, not so early.
God, thank God
I'm
we're having
24.
a change.
I don't know any guys my age who want to get married or like 2 years.
Yes.
What do you guys think about? Because we answered the gender role question, but not like fully. What do you guys think about the gender role thing? Like, do you think that is important for the? Well, what is your opinion? What is your view on the gender roles? Yes. And the age, because it's kind of all of us.
I think they exist, and I think they're very important to be discussed.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely exist for sure. I think it's just a matter of like who actually thinks that they need to exist in a relationship.
Do you need them? Do you think that there needs to be a masculine and feminine role? There needs to be someone who goes and does this, the female does this, that balance needs to be there? Or it's like, hey, well, let's be 50-50.
I feel like it's 50-50 for me because I would want to be like, hey, like you cook dinner tonight, I got it tomorrow. Like I'm going to work, you're going to work. Like you work together. That's kind of how I see a relationship.
I'm with you on that.
So you don't like gender roles?
No, it's not that I don't like it, but I don't. maybe because I didn't grow up like that, you know what I mean? My mom does not like to cook. Sorry to throw you out there, Mom, but she doesn't, you know what I mean? So it wasn't like, I'm the mom and I'm going to do all this stuff, or in my dad, oh, you're the man, you're going to do that. It was like a cohesive thing, you know what I mean? So for me, I don't think that it's necessarily that important to...
I guess being the oldest on the panel, that's probably the only reason why I'm like, I love gender roles. I mean, but I'm also accused of being a shark all the time because I've been in business. I've been very successful. So everyone's like, oh, you've got to probably want to work all the time and do this and that. But like, I believe to have a successful marriage, you must have a very definitive, if I cook, he cleans the dishes that time, that's not necessarily gender roles in my opinion, but there has to be defined, like someone has to put their foot down and the other person has to say, okay.
I can't imagine I can never imagine her sitting there and letting someone else put their foot down. I just couldn't.
God.
No, I'm being honest. Like, her personality is very strong and
very strong.
Like, honestly though, like, what do you think you can really sit down and let a guy take control of everything and you just sit back and be the nice, pretty, cute wife there?
Well, I don't know about pretty and cute wife.
But I'm saying like just the nice submissive wife. That's what I'm saying.
So oddly enough, I'm quite submissive in relationships, and I'm almost too submissive. Like I almost allow not disrespect, but I almost allow so much of it to come through that I do need that balance. But I find that because I am so strong in business, I do want to be more of that submissive role. I want someone else to kind of take that. So I think with these couples, some of this kind of showed up, maybe their beliefs and roles with the Bachelor and Bachelorette parties. So last season we did not see strippers. This season, strippers. And
let's just say she loved it.
Ally.
She was just... Ally was like, oh my God, shake it. No,
Ally, what were your thoughts on that? Did you think it was appropriate?
I just was like, wait, they're allowed to show this on television?
That's it? They were fully clothed. Like,
no,
they weren't
I know,
even...
but it was just like, I feel like, because these are real people. I mean, it's a bachelorette. I feel like these parts of the wedding, it's like no one's supposed to know about what happened. It's supposed to just you go do the bachelorette party.
What do you mean by you keep saying these are real people? Everyone on TV is a real person. So I want to understand what you mean by that phrase. These are real people.
This is someone, really figuring out. They're like, all right, this is the step I need to take for the next part of my relationship, and something that needs to happen in my life. And they're opening this new chapter in their life. So like I find it sometimes hard to like you have to look at something at a full circle because they're doing this for the first time. They don't, you know what I mean? Like they're experiencing this on their own, and like nobody else has been through this, so it's such a hard.
So you think strippers will ruin the
relationship?
relationship?
So with your future husband, if your future husband
had
had strippers, are you okay with that?
Your husband that you've never met before.
Nah, let's just say the real husband.
Well, I'm just saying, you should never met. So
would you be okay if your husband had strippers?
No, I don't. It's like.
What about you? Are you okay with that? Do you think that was inappropriate or appropriate?
I think in the setting, no. I do not think it was inappropriate.
If
that was a normal thing, I think that would be a problem.
Okay, got it. So because it was TV, Tessa, it's almost like
Let me just say, you two are in for a rude awakening when you get married, because there probably will be strippers at your husband-to-be's bachelor party. Let's go to the chat real quick because we want to see what they're saying at home. All right. Hey, Red Ram Corp. Red Ram Corp says, age is just a number to me. I'm with you, Red Ram. It doesn't matter. I mean, depending, not like 20 years or anything like that, that's a little much. Amanda Russ says, yeah, age does not have to be a problem unless they make it one. That's really true. Because if Nate would have said, I'm 31, she would have said, okay, it's not going to make a difference who he is.
Right, it's true.
So,
absolutely.
Let's see what else they're saying. One more person.
It's a little late. We're going to keep it to the end because we're running late. We're on a short time.
Yeah.
We will please keep them coming if you want.
Yeah, we still have a lot to talk about. We have a lot to talk about the weddings.
Yes, gifts. Let's hit the gifts.
Yes.
It's always very interesting. We loved it. Seeing what really came through shows a lot about their personalities, how they think about relationships. Cody, I would start there. The fact that he gave a piece of his grandmother's dress on that was huge.
I thought it was great, and
all of the faces, you all were like,
yeah, it was, and I feel like Danielle had said that really shows like his personality, that shows what he's thinking and how he's feeling, and I think that's great because it's not an object of something he bought. It was something that I want to give to you because this means something in my family. Like I don't know you yet, but I'm gonna like show you my family. I'm gonna show you know what I mean. Like it was welcoming.
Wonderful. It was amazing. Very unique. I have to be honest. Yeah, if I would have taken it, I would have been like, interesting. Like I wouldn't have known, but I knew it would be something special.
Well, let me just say, all guys out there, if you want to win over your lady, your future wife to be, make sure to give them a bag of nuts.
Oh my God.
Whatever kind you want to choose, because that would 100% win them over, right?
What did you think of that? What did you think of that?
I thought it was interesting. Honestly, I wouldn't do it myself.
Is it a tradition?
I would just think it was odd.
Well, those almonds are a tradition at weddings. Like everybody gets them like on their, I think their place settings. I don't know if they do it anymore. I just know that my mom, when
you
she
just said that, and that just threw me off. Everyone else gets them, so I'm going to give you the gift that everyone else is going to get.
Well, yeah, I mean, that is true. It is one of
like
those
you're
things.
special.
You know those little like baggies that have the strings, the drawstrings? Because I remember when I was younger and like my mom would go to a wedding, she would come home and she'd like bring them, like, oh, I want some candy. And so I remember eating them, and I was like, oh, they're so yummy. But it is one of those things where, okay, was that a party favor and then it was like a makeshift thing, or he went out and got those almonds?
I mean, he looked a little tipsy after his stripper humped on him a little bit, so maybe that was a makeshift.
He postmated those almonds. He was like, what can I get her? He Googled it.
I thought it was creative. I thought it was creative.
I think that his letter, though, if I were to open that up and I didn't know the person, I would feel so confident.
Me too.
Walking down the aisle, because I'd be like, all right, this guy has like he's actually aware that this is a marriage. Like, we're both putting ourselves out there, and these are the 5 things that I want you to believe in a marriage. So I think that the letter, if anything, the almonds, like, whatever, but the letter is what meant a lot.
Totally. The fact that it even had fertility in there, that, like, scares men so much. Like, I hate to be cliche, but it kind of does.
That would have scared me if I would have opened that. I'm like, oh my God.
See, but she loved it because
fertility,
she wants kids. So that was amazing. How cool
It was
is
forward,
Ashley?
though.
How cool is Ashley? Football tickets.
Yeah,
amazing
that was cool.
gift. Amazing gift.
I mean, unless he didn't like football, though. She just kind of assumed.
That was my one thing. Honestly, I'm like,
kind
just because he's a guy doesn't mean he likes sports.
Ooh.
If I would have gotten that, I would have been like, hey, best man, here you go. Thanks for being in my wedding. Because I would not have cared to go to a football game, you know?
Because, like, what if he likes baseball
exactly.
or hockey or...
soccer.
Well, Ally, you personally loved the crown that Nate got Sheila. Tell us more about that.
It was nice. I thought that what he meant, it was really nice. I personally wouldn't have wanted to receive a crown because I don't like those kind of gifts. Like, I'd rather, like, I liked the letter.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
But he wouldn't have known what you would have liked, so you would have had to just accept it. And,
yes, you're right. I would have been like, oh, and I think what needs to happen is I wish he would have written a letter, like what he was telling his friends.
Yes.
Because what the meaning behind it means so much more than just a crown.
That's fair.
Like, he was telling his friends, I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. But when she opened it and there was no letter behind it, I was kind of like, oh man, like, she needs to know why. And like, what he was basically saying, like, I'm going to take care of you, like, you are, like, I don't know.
You're going to be my queen, I'm the king.
I love that. Like, my first thing, I'm always, like, I tell my dachshund, I'm like, you a prince, man. You the prince. You not a king. You not a king. Because I'm a queen. And so my husband is going to be the king.
Your what?
Wow.
Yeah.
Your what?
My dachshund. My miniature dachshund.
Your dog?
Yeah, I told him
what
he's
is that
a prince.
voice that you're speaking
That's
in?
how much my Moche voice. We'll hear more about that later. But it's my dog voice.
So back to Nate and Sheila.
Yes, thank you. So I think the crown was amazing. I think that no words came with it was even more amazing. A crown in itself says a lot. Like, I am your queen. I love that. I love it. I'm so different. I love this.
What do you think about these gifts?
I agree with Ally that there should have been a note for me to fully feel like she could fully appreciate it. I don't know what I think.
Why can't we just feel it out, guys? Why can't we?
I mean, no, you know what? You're
it?
right. At the same, we're judging it a lot, I guess, because when you think about it, if we were in the position, we don't know the person, we don't know anything they like, we don't know anything, so we'd have to just kind of give them whatever.
I feel like we did kind of, when we were watching, we were like, if you opened the crown initially, what would you think? I'd be like, I'm going to be a princess. Like, my husband that I'm about to marry is a king.
Yes.
Like, what if, like, that was the case?
And then you're super
They have
let
a
down.
show. They have a show
it
about
that
that.
way.
They have a real show like that,
Yeah,
actually.
where there's a prince who doesn't. They
And he doesn't
know
tell them that he's a
not-
prince.
Yeah.
Really?
And then it's like the Bachelor kind of.
It's
but
a
he's
reality
prince.
show. I think it's on the same network, is it?
Oh my
I think
gosh.
it is.
I had no idea. Good to
I
know.
don't know.
Who knows? I think the other ones we had the Manhattan. Danielle gave the Manhattan to Cody. And overall, I thought they were good. I like that they do gifts. It shows, again, a lot about the personality. Getting into it again, because we're on a short time frame here. We only have a few more minutes. We're going to go full hour next week. The one thing that we always look at when we're getting married, the faces of the husband before, she walks down the aisle. And when she does. Well, normally, at least from my opinion, it's always, what is the husband's face when she walks down the aisle? So let's talk about the
you mean on the
faces.
show? Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm like, in life? What do you mean? Yeah. That makes sense. Sorry.
I was thinking, you were thinking like a pyramid.
I'm like, what do you mean?
No, the faces. So who looked happy? Who looked not happy?
I feel like they all were happy.
Agreed.
And I will say something about all three of these couples this season is that they all, I can tell, are 100% committed and understanding of the process. Like, all of them seem so excited and willing to open up and be like, all right, I put myself in this situation. Like, I'm gonna feel it out, live it out for the 8 weeks that they're doing, and I'm gonna see what this is like. And you can kind of tell that I don't know, there's just something different about each of these couples.
Here's what I'm thinking to pick up where what you're putting down. So initially, I can't remember if it was a matchmaking or in the beginning of the first part of the episode, but it was the idea of the word commitment and their beliefs around what that word actually means. And I wanted to ask you guys that. All of these individuals, that commitment word came out a lot, and everybody was like, it's about commitment, and commitment is doing this, that, and the other. So that to me is the thought behind the thought right now that's definitely different than the other seasons that we've watched, is that to me, it seems like that these individuals have an alignment and their belief of commitment and the importance. Like, did anyone else recognize that? Or do you believe that your thought about what commitment is, if it doesn't align with the person you're marrying, that you're doomed? Do you think that's going to impact it?
Well, my first thing, if I think commitment, I'm thinking
Forever.
we're together, we're not gonna stray.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that that's the first thing that comes to my mind.
Yes.
And I must say, when Nate kept saying commitment, I kept thinking, no, I don't believe it. He does not seem like the kind of. I can bet you guys money they're not gonna stay together.
No.
I'm gonna say that right now. First episode, they're not. I don't care if it's a year from now, 2 years from now, they're not, because I just don't. Something's not right. Anyways, when it comes to commitment, I feel like we're gonna stay together. It's you and I.
So two people need to have the same idea. Like, if I had a different theme or idea of commitment and you did, do you think that would negatively?
Well, yeah,
influence
of
the
course,
couples?
but I would think that the basis of commitment is we're together, we're not with anyone else, and then the rest of it comes along, right?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't think so? You could say two people can come together and they can figure out what it means collectively.
I mean, isn't that what commitment?
Well,
what else is commitment?
Yeah.
I mean, there's
guess
a lot of different definitions.
commitment to me is forever. You are committed, you are forever. No, but at the same time, I think I really like what you're saying. It's because it's true. Like, these people are both coming together and they're realizing the situation and they're committing to the process, meaning that they're putting themselves out there and submitting themselves to the situation. And that
to each
commitment,
other.
yeah, and to each other. Like, the commitment is just gonna come, I think, with time too.
Yeah.
Because when you first go on a first date with someone, you're not we're gonna date forever. You're committing yourself to that date, but you're not figuring it all out.
This is different.
Yeah, this is different.
You married someone
That's true.
You can't just go to the bathroom and not go back.
You did this idea. No, Ally, last season, same thing. It was that idea. We have to mind shift sometimes that this is marriage. Yeah, this is marriage.
Yeah.
So speaking about the process again, because we're short on the time, let's talk about a little bit of differences that are happening. So generally for the last 4 seasons, they have been married for 6 weeks. Now they're going to be 8. So 8 weeks, they have an opportunity for 8 weeks to get to know each other.
I was checking. We have 10 minutes. We have time.
I only see 5, but I'm sad.
It's fast.
I could talk for hours.
It's
about
fast.
this show.
That's okay.
So now we have 8 weeks. I think that might do a little bit of something different, but I'm not really sure. If 6 weeks or 8 weeks will compare, but that's some changes that's going into it. On top of that, Lifetime is now the one that the place that this is at, and you can already see with the sweetheart tables, with the setups and everything, this is going to be they're doing things a lot different, especially the premiere episode. I personally thought this was a little long.
It was on FYI before, right?
Yeah, it was on FYI. I thought this was a little long, a little much. I don't know how we wanted it, but was anyone else getting that feel at all?
Well, it was only long because we watched the first thing that we,
Everybody did. Everybody watched the first thing back to back, though.
Okay.
All at the same time.
I don't know about 3.5 hours. Real quick. Okay, so I want to. Oh, I forgot.
Did you really? You never forget what you said.
I know. What was I gonna say? It was about this, obviously.
Well, while you're
Keep going,
thinking
keep
about
going.
it, I want to say I think one of my favorite lines out of this entire episode was that Anthony said "romantical."
Oh my God,
I was like,
romantical.
yes!
Is that a word? Is that a word?
I mean, I say it,
I don't think
romantical.
so.
I don't know if it is or not.
I don't think so.
I
We're
like
gonna make it a word.
love it.
Anthony, we're making it a word.
I'm glad you brought that up. Speaking of lines, Sheila said something else, which is also a reason why I think they're doomed. She says, she walked down the aisle and she says, "Oh my God, he has really honest eyes." What the hell does that mean? That is so stupid.
No,
I think when people say things like that, I just think it doesn't make sense. Like, how can you look at someone and say they have honest eyes?
I could look at someone's eyes and I can look at a picture and tell you their entire life history, their relationship with their family.
So you can look at my eyes and say what kind of guy I am just by looking at my eyes.
Yes.
I mean, you can tell by how I'm acting, but you know, I didn't think it made.
I've like, you know, that's like going up to a stranger, like, oh my gosh, you're so nice, and then you find out later that they're like actually mean.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He has really honest eyes, so I know it's gonna like.
No, that is so true. You can absolutely tell someone.
Of course, she would believe that.
No, but I think what I will say is that from like seeing Sheila and Nate together, I think that like I feel like there's like you're saying they're doomed. I don't think so.
Yeah, let's talk about chemistry, Ally. Good lead in. Let's talk about the chemistry. Who do you think had it? Who do you think didn't?
I think they all had some sort of chemistry. Not saying that like, oh my gosh, it was love at first sight for everybody, but I think they all have the means to make this work.
Mm-hmm.
Like from this first day. I don't know.
Yeah, it's always it changes.
I know what I was gonna say.
I
Sorry,
feel like Danielle and Cody had more chemistry than I thought they would.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still not sold on them. Nate and Sheila had as much chemistry as I thought they were going to be, which isn't a lot. And Anthony and Ashley, I love them.
Oh my gosh.
too.
I am like totally disagreeing, I think, unless I have heard right now. I think all three couples had chemistry. I mean, last season it was hit or miss. Like it was, I mean, one couple clearly had chemistry and the other two was, again, hit or miss, depending upon what you think. But Nate and Sheila, a lot of chemistry. Cody and Danielle, to me, had the least, and that's what I'm kind of talking about right now. That immediate like woo, you know. And then obviously immediately A squared. I'm already like coining that. A squared, like they absolutely did too. So I thought they did good for that.
Did anyone happen to think for a second that Cody might have been the right match for Ashley? Is that her name?
Yes.
Yes, for Ashley. Let me tell you why.
What
because
made you think that?
Ashley mentioned that she really wanted a guy that was very outgoing because she's very reserved. She wanted a guy that was very outgoing who can like be the life of the party and know every single person when they walk in. Cody was that person immediately.
Correct.
He walked into the wedding, said hi to everyone, kept talking. He went to her dad at the reception. So I'm thinking, like, because the initial thing, we know from seeing the past episodes and whatnot, the initial love doesn't really matter. Because after the fact, they really know who they are. So I feel like Cody and Ashley might be the ones that should have been matched for a second, just because of personality traits.
I love it. I think that right now the couples, how they were paired, were pretty accurate. I mean, to be honest with you, again, for some reason, Daniel and Cody to me seem like the least likely. But I see on the outside surface, again, jobs and everything like that, logically, it makes sense. But I think that right now the pairs seem to be on point. Speaking to that, who is your favorite? We'll end with favorites. Again, guys, sorry, we have to cut it short. I promise it'll be full length next week. But let's get into favorite couples, then we'll get into predictions, and then we're going to have to wrap it up early tonight.
I have one more question, too, for you guys, but after that.
Yeah. No, I would love to. I think we have to end now.
What was
favorite couple?
Ashley and Anthony, 100%. I'm a fan of theirs.
A squared? Okay.
They just look like they love each other already.
I love all the couples.
Oh, always, Ally, always with that. Oh God. I can't wait. I can't wait to push your button.
Like it's the first episode. We don't know anything yet, so I'm just gonna say
she does not love all the couples. She is not telling the truth.
I am telling the truth.
Oh, stop.
She's so nice. She's so nice.
That's nice though. That's good to be nice. I mean, we're not being mean by saying we're a favorite couple.
No,
though.
I'm not saying you're mean. No, I'm just saying I personally, I don't see anything to where like.
So you don't have a favorite couple yet?
Not yet. Yeah,
okay,
I
cool.
think that I like them.
She's like, I don't really like them like that yet.
No. we got some episodes to go. No, I just think that they all. I need to see a little bit more from each of them because we didn't. I feel like we didn't get too much at the party of them like interacting with the family members as much as we did last season. Like I feel like they spent more time on like the party aspect.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I like them all right now. But I maybe will have a favorite by next week.
Gotcha. So as far as my favorite, I guess for now I definitely do have to pick A squared because I just got chills. I mean, I cried at every single pair and I got chills at every single pair. My energy is much different this season than it was last season for some reason. I don't know why. But I got emotional. But to me, again, they both are on the same page. They both want family. They both really believe in commitment in the same way. And I see that. And they're saying the same things without knowing they're saying the same thing. So I hope you guys are watching right now and being like, oh, look, we said the same thing and we feel the same way. Yeah. Married on your couch together. Yay.
Aww.
Did you want to ask something real quick? I mean, again, I would love to go on for an hour.
It was the most random question ever. I don't know. Okay, so have they ever been in like interracial couples on the show?
I do not remember an interracial couple ever, not once.
And I was thinking about it because when I was watching the matchmaking thing, I kept thinking of a lot of people that I thought would go together, and they weren't necessarily the same ethnicity or whatnot. And then they didn't have any of them. So I just thought, I don't know, it was just a random thought in my mind.
Last season on the matchmaking special in season 4, they were trying to do that, and they had a couple pairs that they attempted to match that were interracial, but a couple fell through. On that note, so like the couple that no, they weren't interracial. I was gonna say the couple that was supposed to be on season 4 was unable to do that, so they threw Heather and Derek together. Exclusive. Derek and Heather actually got married 2 weeks after the other 2 couples. So all of our thoughts and theories of like, wow, it doesn't seem like they click. There you go. Inside scoop.
AfterBuzz TV exclusive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, but Ally, it's
this
11:03, Ally. We got to wrap it up.
It's actually 10:50.
On that note, sorry again, guys. We are so excited to be back, but we have to wrap early. We will be back next week. We will let you know about the time for a full hour. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Heather Yerrid. Desola, where can they find you?
You can find me at Desola_B everywhere.
And you can find me on Twitter at Ally Nasta and on Instagram at Ally Girl.
And you guys can find me on all social at Tessa_Cevaal.
All right, guys, join us next week. Live chat, all the above. We'll take calls. See you then.
Thanks for watching.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Bye. See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the host only, do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.